All right, guys. So I need to clear some things up. So it makes perfect sense to people who Whipple Pogres is. Okay, so Whipple Pogres is a large penis supremacy group that hangs out in houses, hotel rooms, condos, track houses, all day, and they don't work. They sell drugs and peddle crypto, and they try to send pictures of their penis to your wife, their big penis, because like I said, to be involved in Whipple Pogres, you have to have a large penis, like an 8 or 9 inch penis, right? So those guys. So here's the thing about it is, most of the time, like what it starts off as is if they can get those chicks. Many of them are single chicks who go to them, but they also get girlfriends and then they get wives. And Whipple Pogres considers the wife to be a gold star, a huge victory, right? So Whipple Pogres posts up in condos or lounge houses trying, and they just sell drugs all day. And they try to use things like Tinder and Snapchat to get at the local female populace, so they can share their picture of their huge penis with them, so they can fuck them, right? So what happens is they will typically screw them a number of times before trying to record any of it on video or take any photos of it. What they're trying to do is traffic them away from the monogamous picket fence life and instead put those women into hardcore pornography, like to monetize them as flesh, basically. Any attractive woman, like a moderately attractive woman, is a target of Whipple Pogres. And they see a married woman as the big prize. If they can get a married woman to leave her husband in pursuit of pornography, meaning if they can, like, let's say there was a woman, a stay-at-home wife, they had one kid, and her husband was a pest control guy, right? And Whipple Pogres was staying 3 doors down, and that woman was watching Pornhub, and one day decided to play with the idea of meeting someone on Tinder, and that ended up with her inside of the house with that guy, sucking that dude's big dick. Now, the first 3 times she met up with him, he did not film her or even bring up pornography. But then on let's say, I don't know, like the 4th time, like the first 3 times they just hooked up, and then the 4th or the 5th time is when he pulled out the phone camera and said, "You should let me take a picture of you. I mean, you should just leave your husband and join porno." Because once a woman gets a picture taken of her like that, there's no going back. She'll always be a slave to her image, right? If she gets caught on camera smiling on a big penis, that's forever her slavery. And so those guys try to say, you should do porn with me, right? And so this typically, they push this the most with the single ladies and the most with the women who are just girlfriends. But if they know that woman's married, through their own spy ops, because that woman might have taken her ring off to go see that guy, those guys might know, like, that she's married, and she doesn't know that they know that she's married, right? What Whipple Pogres tries to do is convert women to pornography. They try to take the single woman in the working class town, or the even upper middle class town, or lower class town. They try to find beautiful women, and they try to fuck them with their big dick off camera multiple times to give them the porno experience as far as how it feels. And then they try to pull out a phone and say, or even have a camcorder and say, you should ditch the life that you're in at working at the coffee shop or being a stay-at-home mom or being, a girlfriend who's a college student, a woman pursuing business. Whipple Bon Pogres tries to tell those women, you should ditch your old pursuits and become a porn star, right? Because they've already tickled them, basically, with their huge cocks. They've shown them what the sex and pornography feels like. They've given them the pornographic fantasy. They just haven't filmed them yet. And so this has happened where a married woman decided, like, she was on the ropes about leaving her husband because of this new guy she met who was involved in Whipple Bon Pogres. And on the 9th date, she said she consented to him filming her. And she went home, and then she had second thoughts about porno, right? But she had this photo of herself doing that. And that turned into, she had to confess, because she knew that photo, she heard that it could have circulated in a dark web space, even a porno space, and realized that her husband could see it. And that turned into her joining big porno. She left her husband, who she had a 3-year-old daughter with, and she became a single mother, basically, who got to see her daughter from time to time as she worked in the Bay Area and San Fernando Valley, right? And so what Whipple Bon Pogres is, that's a group of men who they group together per their penis size, not race, though they tend to be anti-Semitic, but they group together by their penis size. It's a large penis supremacy club, a large penis supremacy group, and they post up selling drugs all day, or peddling crypto all day, like lazy men with big penises in houses or lounges or hotel rooms or condos, trying to use online dating apps to get to the single women locally, get to the women who are girlfriends locally, and of course get to the women who are wives locally. They consider the wives to be the biggest prize. And what they do is they groom them through repeated sexual encounters with the big penis, right, before they even pull out a camera. And then when they start to, when the woman really starts to get familiar with how to work it, is when those men who are like executives for the porn industry, right, human trafficking, spectrum, right, they would forever say, like, yeah, porn is a spectrum of human trafficking, a loophole that is a loophole gray area in human trafficking. When those women get more familiar with that type of engagement, which is what they see on Pornhub, when they start to feel what that looks like, you know what I mean, or get to experience what those women were watching on Pornhub. When those women get experience with that kind of penis, with a member of Whipple Bon Pogres who's very experienced, then that's when Whipple Bon Pogres tries to recruit them to leave their old life, to leave their pursuit of a picket fence life, a monogamous life. Whipple Bon Pogres tries to encourage them to leave that because Whipple Bon Pogres wants to funnel those women into porno, right? Some of those men want to even have their own little roster on OnlyFans or Pornhub of local women they picked up through Tinder Snap, meaning a guy with big dick energy face on Tinder, and then through Snapchat he revealed his large penis, right? And then those women met up with him, tried out the porno sex thing a few times, the porno style of sex with a well-endowed man, and then on date 9 or 10, that man said, you should do Pornhub with me. We should, because there's more money to be made, right? Or he's a guy who's an executive for San Fernando Valley, maybe living in Palm Springs or Bakersfield, right? Who his job is just to sell cocaine all day and peddle crypto and hang out in a house trying to get to local women through digital means like Tinder Snap, like social media. like more seedy social media like Tinder, right, where he's trying to get women in that space so he can be a recruit to send them to San Fernando Valley, like after he's bodied them out 15 times, right? Then he says, you should just do porno. You're going to make way more money. Then you're going to be so much happier. You're going to have so much glamour and just culture it's going to be so much more fun for you if you ditch your lame ass pest control boyfriend in the track community and go to San Fernando Valley to make a bunch of money, right? Or even like if you're a single gal who works at a coffee shop, who doesn't have a boyfriend, who started hooking up with a guy they met on Tinder per his penis size, and they had porno sex a number of times, and then he said, you're going to make a lot of money in porno. And those guys, those members of Whipple Pogres even have connections in the world of porno because of cocaine, because of how what a prevalent, like the prevalence of cocaine in the porn industry, right? And so that's where, so those guys are literally like executives who through cocaine are linked to the San Fernando Valley, who seek to notch their belt and funnel those women into fucking big penises on camera in San Fernando Valley, right? And married women also went this route. There were married women who cheated on their husbands via Tinder Snap and then decided to join deep throat pornography, whether it was with that member of Whipple Pogres who had his own roster of women for his own Pornhub account, or they were executives for the porn industry who were drug dealers who sent single women and married women away from, like they sent them into the porn industry after taking them away from the more working class picket fence life, if that makes sense. And like I said, there was many single women who fell for this, who were groomed through online dating, trafficked through online dating to go into the porn industry. And then there were also women who were girlfriends of somebody who fell for this. And then there was also married women who decided to step out and cheat on their husband because she was inspired by watching Pornhub to find a well-endowed man to live out that fantasy. And then within that space of her living out the fantasy, one day that guy took out his camera phone and said, you should let me take a picture of you and you should just do porno. Because once she gets a picture taken of herself with a big dick on her head, she becomes a slave to her image, right? And she, like I said, in that one situation, there's a woman who went back to her husband after she got scammed on cam, right? And like she was in the heat of the moment, even like high on drugs that this guy gave her, and he took a photo of her, perhaps, like even when she didn't know what was going on, even if she consented to getting a photo taken of her because she got high on cocaine or something, and she looked up and the phone camera was in her face, and he took a snap, right, and made her a slave to her image. And like he would always push that on her, like, haha, I got you on photo, like you should just leave your dork husband and go to San Francisco or Los Angeles to do deep throat porn, right? Because like he was kind of an asshole to her, always trying to break her down and belittle her when she was away from her husband, cheating on her husband with this guy who would treat her kind of like shit when she was sucking his big dick. And then one day, like on date number 15, he pulled out his camera phone when she was high on blow, and she looked up at him, and he snapped the photo, and he held it on her like a blackmail to where he was like, you should just do porno, like you're a slave to your image anyway. And she ended up leaving her husband. And that's a human trafficking spectrum, guys. It is what they've set up with Tinder Snap, coupled with a Pornhub OnlyFans economy, right? And so that's who Whipple Pogres is those are well-endowed men who post up in party houses all day, post up in condos, post up in hotel rooms, trying to get at women so they can shove their big dicks down their throat. And once they get those women acclimated towards that sort of sexual lifestyle, then they start getting them high on coke and trying to catch them on camera snap. Or even say, like, you should let me film you this time. We should make Pornhub. We're going to make so much money with my big dick and your pretty face. And so that's who Whipple Pogres is. They're a large penis supremacy cult who tries to just exploit the laborer ruthlessly. Like, they don't do any work. They just sell cocaine. That's how they're connected to big porno, is through cocaine. They want to take women away from the monogamous. They want to knock women off the monogamous route. They want to take women away from their picket fence. They want to take your wife away and get her acclimated to their type of sex and idea. Then they want to take pictures of it, videos of it, so they have them as a stock holding on their life. So they're more pressed into doing pornography. Right? They want to push the envelope with getting your chick on camera, or getting the local cute chick on camera sucking their big cock. That's who Whipple Pogres is. That's a raceless effort. That's a group of men who group together per their penis size, not their race, but they tend to be anti-Semitic.